Hello and welcome. In today's show, whatever, we're going to be making a cake. But this cake is not like the others. This one is an element, compound, and mixture cake. Now, as you can see, instead of like having dry and not dry ingredients separated, it's separated by whether it's an element, compound, or mixture. Now, element would be a part like a simplest form of matter. And as you can see, there's nothing. Because there is no elements being added into this cake. Well, they're being added, just not as an element, per se. But rather, the next form up would be a compound, right here, which would be our sugar and salt. Now, a compound is a combination of two or more elements that cannot be broken down by physical means, or whatever. They can't be broken down physically, by physical methods. As I guess you could say. And then over here we have our mixtures. Now these are elements, compounds, whatever all together, but they can be broken down by physical means. And that's what distinguishes them from compounds and elements and whatever else. As you see, we have quite a lot of mixtures and quite a few compounds and elements, and as you can tell, you know. Yeah, so you're pretty much organized like that, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and start baking this cake. First thing we're gonna add is we're gonna add in our flour. Yep, that looks good. Okay, then we got our sugar. Yep, that looks good. The salt's gonna come in later. Baking powder. Oh yeah, taking in all those fumes. Okay. Yeah, so there we go. That's all together, and that really concludes all our dry ingredients. I'm gonna put a little bit of salt in here too, I guess. Yeah, it looks like 2 pinches. There we go. That looks like all our dry ingredients. We're gonna go ahead and mix it together. Yep, that looks good. There we go. We got all our dry ingredients mixed together. Now we're gonna move that aside. And we're gonna put in our whey ingredients. So, here goes the egg. Wait on, it didn't even crack. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Professional baker here. Got some of this vegetable oil. Yep, that was good. Milk. Vanilla extract. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, that looks real good. Gonna have to mix this together. It kind of almost look like some kind of like light, some chocolate. I should have got a bigger bowl for this. Oh my god. So, as you can see, when these are separate, despite how it might look, this is pretty much a homogeneous mixture, which is more or less a mixture that is one consistent substance altogether. Like you can tell it's all more or less. This is a bad example. Here we go. This is a better example. All this is all powdery. There's no clumps. There's no liquid in it. It's all one homogeneous mixture right here. And as I add them together, now there's like two different types of different forms of substance. substance, and this would become a heterogeneous mixture now, because you got liquid and you got powder. You got like a solid and a not solid. But soon, once it's all mixed together, it will once again become homogeneous. And also, when it's done baking, it will become homogeneous. It goes through a lot of changing within the baking process. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So now we got the baking sheets. So instead of using like hand spray or something, we're gonna do this a little bit old school, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in a little bit of grease, a little bit of vegetable oil in here. Yeah, a little bit of vegetable oil. That's way too much. It's like, don't follow my example. That's way too much. Right? There we go. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. When a little bit of extra grease hurt anybody. You're gonna want to swish it around. Make sure it gets a nice coating. Coating all on the bottom, maybe a little bit on the sides too. You don't want it, like, you don't have to cut it out. Look at that, beautiful, beautiful. Now the second step to this, you're gonna want to put some flour into it, into the bottom. Just a pinch, just a pinch. We're throwing a little bit of, yeah, there we go. Not too much, because then you'll start getting the white spots on your cake. And that's a little tad bit. Ooh, shoot. There we go. Look at that, all good. Beautiful. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pour an even half and half into each baking sheet. Ooh, why is it gooey? Yeah, I'll come back to that. This side too. So here we are, the oven preheated to 350. The unfortunate bits of mixture, homogeneous mixtures, drowned and ready to go into the oven. But in the meantime, there was one thing that we forgot to cover. Now you see these eggs? These used to be eggs. Well, so they were mixtures, right? But one thing they weren't a pure substance. Now there's two types of pure substances. There's elements, nowhere to be found here, and then there's compounds, which would be something like the salt. The salt here would be like a pure substance. So the eggs couldn't be them, of course, because they were already mixtures. All right, we're back. The cake is out of the oven. One's already cut, and this one is ready to be cut. So let's go ahead and do it. Oh my goodness! I should do all this still warm. Now with these two flat edges, we have one last thing. We have this icing, which happens to be mixture.